Hello, this is Willie from the Ozarks, and we're on February the 20th in Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Lesson 51. Lesson 51 is a review, and before we actually read Lesson 51, we're going to read the introduction to this review section. I hope you did your two 10-minute meditations yesterday. 20 minutes is what you spent. The day before that, we had 4 5-minute meditations. So we're up to trying to meditate. It looks like he'll kind of keep it this way. He'll about 20 minutes a day. And I think there's one time we're going to do 30 minutes. And there may be a few more than that. But basically, if you spent 30 minutes morning, 30 minutes at night, that would be, and throughout the day, just think about the idea. That's pretty much the way the rest of the books can be set up, roughly. And generally, it won't be anywhere close to 30 minutes. He talks about how an instant with real focus and desire is better than long periods of time without having clear focus. All right, so I am sustained by the love of God was yesterday's. We're going to read our review in here in just a minute. Before I do, I've got something here I want to show you. Let's see if I can arrange this so you can see what I've got. And I don't know if you can very well. All right, here, let's just do it that way. That's sitting on a bunch of books, which I kind of wanted to mention to you what they are. This is two things. This is a series of books that I wanted to talk to you about in relationship to my friend Jerry, who crossed over last year. And this is the Anastasia Ringing Cedar series. This is the first book in the series, Anastasia. It's a real fun read by Vladimir McGree. And really some nice reading for just for being in tune with the earth. Okay, I wanted to show you this also. I showed you these yesterday, and I realized you couldn't really see them. I had them in a wooden tray and had quite a few in there. Today I planted some watermelons. I know it's early in the year for watermelon, and these are going to be pretty good size by the time I plant them out. But I wanted to show you, I put a couple seeds in each pot. These are those paper pots, and you can plant those directly into the ground. You have to disturb the roots. This is another way, I write on my popsicle stick. That's a sugar baby. Sometimes I just fold them up and staple or tape them to the stick. That works out nice. This is a moon and stars. And these are, it's also sugar baby. And that one is what is that? Oh, Crimson Sweet. So Crimson Sweet, a couple of sugar babies, and some moon and stars. I like to have my watermelons up pretty good and growing good when I put them out. I'm going to do this Three Sisters gardening this year, at least for some of my garden. Let's get you back where you can see me. And that Three Sisters garden is the corn, beans, and squash. This Three Sisters of the Iroquois. Anyway, I make lots of substitution. Instead of squash, I'm going to use watermelon on some of them. Okay, review lesson. Let's read this. Beginning with today, we will have a series of review periods. Each of them will cover 5 of the ideas already presented, starting with the first and ending with the 50th. There will be a short comment, though there will be a few short comments after each of the ideas, which you should consider in your review. In the practice periods, the exercises should be done as follows. Begin the day by reading the 5 ideas with the comments included. Thereafter, it is not necessary to follow any particular order in considering them, though each one should be practiced at least once. Devote 2 minutes or more to each practice period, thinking about the idea and the related comments. Do this as often as possible during the day. If any one of the 5 ideas appeals to you more than the others, concentrate on that one. At the end of the day, however, be sure to review all of them once more. Okay, so you got that? We're going to review, we're going to look at the first 5 lessons. We don't have to go back and look at it in the book. He's going to put them in a slightly different form occasionally, but those 5 lessons, we're going to think about all 5 of them together for a couple minutes in the morning and again in the evening. And then throughout the day, we're going to spend 5 different times, at least 2 minutes, considering at least one each of the 5. And we can do it more. But, doing it that way, that's 7 times. We're going to spend 14 minutes in meditation today. Okay? 20 minutes yesterday. Not aside from the bringing it up to your memory throughout the day, which really is a meditation in itself. Okay, there's some really good things he's going to tell us here, so let's continue reading. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Rather, try merely to emphasize the central point and think about it as part of your review of the idea to which it relates. Paragraph 4. After you've read the idea and the related comments, the exercises should be done with your eyes closed and when you are alone in a quiet place if possible. In a quiet place if possible. This is emphasized particularly for reviews at your stage of learning. It will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply what you have learned. We need to use quiet time now, but ultimately we want to learn to not have to have a special setting to integrate these concepts and to find our peace. You will need it most. Okay, let's go back. He said, it will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply what you have learned. You will need it most in situations which appear to be upsetting, rather than in those which already seem to be calm and quiet. Okay? So this is nice. He's saying, for right now, use the calmness to integrate these concepts. But as we go along, we're going to bring a calm wherever we go. He's going to explain that now. Paragraph 5. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done by avoiding them and seeking a haven of isolation for yourself. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. I got a little tongue-tied there. Let me read that sentence again. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere, as you are. There's no limit to where you are, and there's no limit to where your peace is at, just as there's no limit to where you're at. And the last paragraph on this introduction to the review. You will note that for review purposes, the ideas are not always given in quite their original form of statement. Use them as they are given here. It is not necessary to return to the original statements nor to apply the ideas as was suggested then. We are now emphasizing the relationships among the first 50 of the ideas we have covered and the cohesiveness of the thought system to which they are leading you. All right, so we're wanting to look at their interconnectedness and the thought system that they imply, rather than getting too wrapped up in each specific one, even though we are going to consider each idea. All right, so lesson 51. The review for today covers the following ideas. Nothing I see means anything. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am never upset for the reason I think. As you see, I write those down so that during the day I can pull it out and pick one to review. Okay, so let's read through what he has to say about these this time. Remember, you don't have to go back to the original form, and he's going to change it just a little bit, but it's still basically the same. Nothing I see means anything. So we'll just read that page, and that's what we'll be contemplating on today. The reason this is so, nothing I see means anything. The reason this is so is that I see nothing, and nothing has no meaning. It is necessary that I recognize this, that I may learn to see. What I think I see now is taking the place of vision. I must let it go by realizing that it has no meaning, so that vision may take its place. Wow. Quite an enlightened master who's able to make those claims and statements. Here in our delusion, we'd think for sure that this earth, that this wall, that the things we touch are real, that this body's real. But he's saying nothing has no meaning, and what we're seeing is taking the place of real substance and vision. Okay? So nothing I see means anything. 2, I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I have judged everything I look upon, and it is this and only this that I see. This is not vision. It is merely an illusion of reality, because my judgments have been made quite apart from reality. I'm willing to recognize the lack of validity in my judgments because I want to see. My judgments have hurt me, and I do not want to see according to them. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. Number 3, I do not understand anything I see. How could I understand what I see when I have judged it amiss? What I see is the projection of my own errors of thought. I do not understand what I see because it is not understandable. There is no sense in trying to understand it, but there is every reason to let it go and make room for what can be seen and understood and loved. I can exchange what I see now for this merely by being willing to do so. Is not this a better choice than the one I made before? Number 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts of which I am aware do not mean anything because I'm trying to think without God. What I call my thoughts are not my real thoughts. My real thoughts are the thoughts I think with God. I am not aware of them because I have made my thoughts to take their place. I'm willing to recognize that my thoughts do not mean anything and to let them go. I choose to have them be replaced by what they were intended to replace. My thoughts are meaningless, but all creation lies in the thoughts I think with God. And number 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. I am never upset for the reason I think. I'm never upset for the reason I think because I'm constantly trying to justify my thoughts. I'm constantly trying to make them true. I make all things my enemies so that my anger is justified and my attacks are warranted. I have not realized how much I have misused everything I see by assigning this role to it. I have done this to defend a thought system which has hurt me and which I no longer want. I'm willing to let it go. I'm never upset for the reason I think. So I'm glad that we've made it this far and on these reviews. I hope you are able to stay focused on them, and we'll see you tomorrow. But take your 14 minutes or more and review each of those lessons for 2 minutes at a time, okay? In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow, and be aware of all of God's goodness. Peace be with you.